So we ask, is there any other question from anyone?
I have a question.
Of course. Yes.
It would seem to me that at this particular time on our planet that there's a huge and powerful struggle between the government and the rest of society, and it would seem that the government are acting in a particularly harsh and negative way. And so my question is really this all there is about life? Is this just this battle between good and evil, positive and negative, trying to find a balance, trying to find some light?
Well, we have incredibly good news for you. Incredibly good news for you all. There is no battle. The battle is perceived. For those in what you call government, and we assume you're speaking of all governments around this planet, or you're speaking specifically of the government of this country that you're residing in at the moment. Well, we know you were speaking of both. And of course there is more to it. They are, in fact, just a very small amount of energy for this whole planet. Because you can buy into the story, or you can leave it alone. Because if it is affecting you personally, where you personally are being abused by them in some way, then remember that you have chosen that role. And sometimes you have chosen that role to join with others to support the well-being of a large group. And sometimes you are taking on what is not yours to take on. It does not mean that you stand by while those who do not have a voice or have less of a voice are being affected. What it does say is remove the concept of battle, remove the concept of war, remove the concept of good and bad, and see it for what it really is. Often it is the creation, sometimes of a movement, that brings much good from it. Other times it is the ego of others. Remember, all those that are affected in any way, as much as you may agree or disagree, like or dislike this, have agreed to come in to play the part that they do within this. Now, it's whether the lessons can be found within them, within the person, within the people, within the group. Though when you remove the idea that there is a war going on between government and people, when you remove the concept of evil and good, or good and bad, or negative and positive, because, as we said earlier on, there is only source. There is only light energy, and everything that is not within that light realm is an illusion. If everything is created in light, then it is for us to shift the optical illusion of it. That what we're seeing is of what has been labeled a negative or a dark energy. In some places the light is a little dimmer. than others. And so it is up to you to allow your light to shine forward, to allow you within yourself to shine above and beyond all else. So, how would it feel to you to let go of the concept of war between government and people?
Well, I think it would be a relief, but I think it will take some huge effort on my part to do that.
Well, we have a suggestion that you ask whoever it is that you work with and whatever levels of source energy it is to assist you to release it, because we can tell you right here and right now, for all of you, that to be labeling and compartmentalizing the energy of this planet, of your world, of the cosmos, if you like, you are causing breakdowns in the flow. And in fact, it is very easy for you to let go of old belief systems that no longer serve you, because it does not serve you to believe in war, to believe in the negative. So, all you need do, if you so choose, is to ask for a release for your highest good. You know it is in your highest good to release negative energy, to release the concept of warring within you. And so that is what you ask for. We know it takes time, for that is part of the human experience. Though if you can quicken it for your highest good, the relief on the mind, body, heart, and soul of yourself. It's an idea, isn't it?
Yes, a good one.
So I guess that's what you're saying, really. It's all of what you're saying, is that if everyone releases that concept of warring, whether it be warring between government and people, or warring in relationship, or warring in families, or warring
within your own body.
Within your own body.
Yes.
That's what we as human beings need to do before, as individuals, before there's any real shift on the planet. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct, yes. And we know it is quite a process for the human being to do. We know that this is perceived as something quite difficult. Though in actual fact it can happen just like that. Like all things, yes? It is the same within the body when there is warring within it. So often it takes so long to heal. And yet the healing can also occur just like that. Yes. And so we say, have patience with yourself. For of course, all of you want to be in your optimum health right now. Is that not correct? Yes. You want the world to have world peace right now. Of course. And so, let the process begin, because as you know, if you're walking from A to B, and you do not take that first step, you'll never ever arrive at B. As much as you think about it, as much as you will it or wish it, if you do not take that first step, it does not occur. And so take the action that is required for yourself. the action that allows you to live your divinity, to be truly who you are. And we say to you also, remember all the support you have, not just of this realm, not just of this dimension. You have so much support, so much assistance available to you. And so when we say, we have good news for you, we say, allow yourself to open up, to hear it as good news, to be in the good news. Yes, yes. So, are there any other questions? We've had some quite large ones this morning.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where do animals fit in? Like, I get particularly upset about this systematic kind of torturing, and to me they seem very vulnerable and very innocent. And I've been an activist in the past, I'm trying to be. I got very, very upset about it, and basically I found it very, very hard to feel positive, so I pulled back a little bit, but I feel I don't have an understanding about where they fit in. It's not like I don't care about victims, like people that suffer, I definitely do as well. But I just want to know where animals fit into the whole scheme of the planet. And
Well, they are indeed blessed beings, for they have chosen to assist us in so many ways. They come here so often to be of service. And sometimes those that are of service are those that are persecuted. Animals have chosen their soul essence selves to support the planet in so many ways. Some animals have come here with the express belief that they are here to provide nourishment for the human being. Some are here with the express understanding that they keep the balance of the planet, whether it be the chemical balance, the emotional balance, the psychological balance, the spiritual balance. They are indeed, from this point of view, here to serve. What we say to everyone is, it is important to work for the well-being of everything on this planet, to keep that balance. It is also important to be in balance with yourself. For so many of you humans over-empathize with animals, with other human beings, and in doing so you cause damage to yourself. At any time, anything that you are doing that causes balance to yourself, we ask you to take that step back, to look at your motivation and to look at your concept of self-love. Now, one of you had a message earlier on, did you not? About it is no longer necessary.
To sacrifice yourself for others is not necessary anymore.
Absolutely. Now, we have been saying for a very long time the concept of sacrifice is done. We do not wish to see human beings or animals being sacrificed in any way. Now, some people have confused this with saying that we never perceive death. And that is not so. As we said, some animals have come in with the innate knowing that they have chosen to support the well-being of humans through providing nourishment. Though this is very different from the levels of abuse that humanity has imposed upon other beings, whether they are human or animal, whether it is the actual energy of the earth herself. So we ask that you look at not sacrificing yourself for anything or anyone, your own well-being, and at the same time acknowledge that there are ways to support those who do not have a voice. So there are many beings on this planet who do not have a voice. And you who do may or may not choose to raise your voice on their behalf. And at the same time that you do this, we ask that you do it from a place of love, not only for those that you speak for, but those that you speak to. Because as you know, it is much easier to hear someone's message when there is love behind it than when there is anger and hatred. So we hope this is, well, we don't hope, we say that this will be a support for you. If you allow that knowing to reach into your cellular level within your being and wrap yourself up in self-love. Accept the love of Source into every aspect of your being. Well, is there anything else that you wish to ask?
At this time, there is much said about global warming, and certainly in many places there is more extremes of temperature. Is it going to get worse, or is it going to get better? Or, as it is now?
Well, we can tell you that more extreme forms of weather will occur. Now, there is always the debate, and we will not particularly call it global warming. What we do say is, it is the human interference with nature. And as humans continue to interfere with nature, imbalance occurs. An imbalance creates waves as such. For you know this within your own body, yes? You've all seen those advertisements that tell you that it's very important to keep within your stomach the flora and fauna, correct? Well, we're using it for all beings. It's a little different for the humans. And so you're being told all the time to keep that balance happening for your own well-being, otherwise you will be causing all kinds of problems within. Is that not right? Well, we say, use that same knowledge and effect on a planetary level for when you are out of balance in any way. You cause a reaction from the energies around, and sometimes those energies create floods, sometimes they create fires, sometimes they create tornadoes, sometimes they create or human beings to also create imbalance. So, all this can happen, yes. So, it is up to the human being, of course, on this planet, to bring that back into balance. Sometimes things have to accelerate for people to take notice. And this imbalance within the ecosystem of this planet is one of those.